We now move on to the panel discussion. Why haven't any of India's 1,168 universities and 45,000 colleges invented, ideated a globally celebrated game-changer product in 77 years? Dilip will be moderating this discussion. So I invite Dilip to come on stage and introduce his panelists. In the meantime, we are also going to get the stage organized for your discussion, Dilip.
For this perhaps unprecedented panel, which is going to ask this difficult question, that why are we laggards by world standards? We have a distinguished panel today. First, let me introduce Dr. Madhu Chitkara, Pro-Chancellor and founder of Chitkara University, Punjab, which is among the top 10 multidisciplinary universities in our latest rankings. Dr. Chitkara has a doctorate in education from Punjab University with an impactful career spanning 4 decades. She's a Pro-Chancellor of Chitkara University in Punjab and Himachal Pradesh, co-chair of the National Council on Education of ASSOCHAM. She began as a maths teacher in 1998 and co-founded the Chitkara Educational Trust, which promoted 2 universities, the Chitkara International School. Currently, the universities have an enrollment of over 25,000 students and 1,200 plus faculty. Under her leadership, Chitkara has introduced over 40 industry-linked programs and established over 250 industry partnerships for academic activities, and has built incubation centers for over 200 startups. Welcome, Dr. Chitkara. Another distinguished panelist this morning, to whose contribution we look forward, is Dr. Mohanish Verma, former Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Government of India, and also a highly respected economist. Dr. Verma is the former Principal Chief Commissioner of Income Tax and with specialization in public policy and direct taxes. He has served in key positions in the Income Tax Department, played a pivotal role in implementing several tax policies. He's been closely associated with the IMF, World Bank, and several universities worldwide, including Georgetown University, Washington, and has recently been offered the position of research scholar at the University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, which he will assume that position in June this year, to work on the synergy of tax systems. Dr. Verma? Welcome, sir. The third panelist we have is Dr. Rajeev Kumar Singh, Dean of International Programs at Shiv Nadar University, Delhi NCR. A founding faculty member of Shiv Nadar University since its inception in 2011, Dr. Singh is a computer science graduate of Delhi University, pressed on to study for his master's and PhD from JNU, Delhi, and currently serves as Dean of International Programs and Professor at the Department of Computer Science. Wait a minute, it's not over, yes? And Engineering at Shiv Nadar Institution of Eminence. Additionally, he chairs the Admissions Committee. Dr. Singh has published and presented a large number of research articles in prominent journals and conferences. Dr. Singh? Welcome, sir. Then we also have another Professor Singh, is Professor A.P. Singh, who is the academic undergraduate studies, Dean of Undergraduate Studies, the Birla Institute of Technology and Science, BITS Pilani, the well-known and top-ranked in our education world. India ranks as the #1 ranked engineering university in India. Professor Singh has a doctorate in civil engineering from BITS Pilani and 3 decades of teaching and research experience. He is now Dean of Academic Undergraduate Studies, as I said. overlooking academic programs in the Pilani campus, Goa, Hyderabad, and Dubai. 4 campuses he overlooks, and is a senior professor of specialization civil engineering, and been instrumental in fostering global engagement and partnerships with international universities, including RMIT University at Buffalo and Iowa State University in the United States. And last but by no means least, we have the flamboyant Mr. Yogi Kochhar, author of the latest book, Artificial Intelligence, The Road Ahead 2.0, which he has co-authored with Dr. Sitaram, who gave us that initial address. As you know, he sent his best wishes this morning. Dr. Sitaram is the chairman of All India AIC, Council of Technical Education, which oversees all technical education in India. So, co-author is Yogi. Let me tell you a bit about Yogi. He's an economics and marketing alum of Punjab University, American Global University, Florida, former director of Microsoft India, currently founder, very important, of the YOL, You Only Live Once, Happiness Foundation, and a Happiness Savant Evangelist. Currently, Yogi is working on a partnership with United Nations institutions, organizations, community leaders, and individuals to attain the target of 10 billion free, conscious, and happy people. And as I said, he's also the author of the Artificial Intelligence, The Road Ahead, with Dr. Sitaram. So, and the book, by the way, is a game changer, impact of AI. What is going to be the impact in 80 sectors of the Indian economy? That's what his book is about, including education. So, gentlemen, I look forward to a very productive discussion with you. Together. The first thing that I want to say is that I am a bewildered, confused, frustrated, and often ashamed individual. That's why we are holding this panel discussion. India has 45,000 undergrad colleges, 1,168 universities. And the gross enrollment in our university is 43 million students. And the faculty will be at least, if you take a ratio, be 1.5 to 2 million. Yes? Yes. So, but, ladies and gentlemen, we have not produced, with all this effort in 77 years, any game changer product, service, like the internet, cell phone, jet plane, I don't know. Whatever you can think of. Artificial intelligence, everywhere we are lagging. So what's the reason? We, as I said earlier, we started earlier than China in higher education. We are nowhere compared to them. And in the university rankings, we are also very poor. So what's the reason? So who wants to go first? You, sir. Okay.
So I would differ a little bit on that part, because look at the history a little bit. You know, we got our independence in 1947, and we were plagued with a lot of social issues at that time. So the country went on to a rampage in terms of trying to alleviate poverty, social equity and all those. And of course, all the time we suffer from what we call as scarcity of resources, and because of those priorities, some of the other things got left out. But I must say that today there are real offshoots of positive possibilities in the space of innovation, entrepreneurship, and I am very proud to say that the current generation of universities which has come up in the last 10 to 15 years, both public and private, are showing a lot of promise, and I'm sure that in the years to come, we will see the fruits of some of those initiatives that the new universities are taking up.
I want preliminary remarks from all of you, and then we are going to cross-cut and make it a lively discussion. Dr. Madhu?
I think I'm not totally with you and not totally against you. Reason being that, well said by my fellow panelists, that there were some other problems with our country. But we should not talk about that what problems we faced and what solutions we were thinking of. But I think one thing which is missing, and I think during the discussions and the people sitting here from industry, they must be able to understand that gap, which industry-academia interface was not there from day one, which is happening in other countries. And if you see US, there I have visited, I think all across the globe, I visited all the universities, right? And when you go and see their labs, you see their infrastructure, it's 90% of that is done by the industry.
So
and they have invested.
Linkage between university and the
so that
academia.
Is a big gap where we are working in silos. That what they are doing, we don't know. What we are doing, they don't need. So I think that is a main gap, and the second is endowment fund. I'm very surprised that I don't want to name them.
Second is what? Sorry.
The endowment fund. Endowment fund is, if you see the other countries, wherever you go, they will. Last week I visited UPenn, right? And I visited Harvard. There, every room even was given a name of some industry guy.
Naming rights.
Naming right. And now I don't want to name one auditorium which was done by somebody Indian, great Indian. They never invested in our universities. They never thought of giving money to us. Even they have a CSR where they have to invest 5% in us because they don't have faith. And we have not created that faith where they should have faith on us. So I think that is a big gap, maybe.
Your initiative. Sir.
A very good morning to all of you. So first of all, I would like to compliment your organization for taking this initiative. So I very much, it's certain things which I very much agree with our speakers earlier, that first of all, we have to understand that capacity building is a big thing. Building institutions is also very important. Now, there are various stakeholders. Government is not the only stakeholder. First of all, we have to appreciate anywhere in the world. You see, the universities in UK, US, other places are more than 200 years old. We are a young nation. We are only 70 years old.
No, sir. But our first three universities set up in 1857.
Oh, that's right.
Bombay, Calcutta, Madras.
Please bear with me. You see, at the time of independence, 1947, we had 20 universities. Today, we have more than 13,000. Okay. Now, when we're a huge country, so we need gradually we go up. Resources we need commitment, we need industry academia relationships. So we should always appreciate the way we are moving ahead. So while the question today, which you have raised, essentially implies that how much have we contributed? But the point is, we are today in a much better position because we have resources, we have infrastructure, we have commitment. Now that is something which comes with time. You cannot do it quickly. It is not possible anywhere in the world. So now with a positive note, I'm not trying to say that we could have done better. Yes, always we can say that.
No, sir, if I don't mind if you interrupt you. Why do we compare ourselves with ourselves? We should compare with everybody else in the world, right? Everybody has the same problems that we have. They're poor. So many countries, China.
No, but there are some institutional issues, like Madam has said, that we have had a very strong industry academia connect in many of these developed countries, which we did not have in India. For the reasons which you have already elaborated, where you say that, we had a lot of licenses, we had a lot of regulations. Because of that, it could not prosper. But today, we are in much better position. So what I am saying is the moment the role of the industry, because today also if industry doesn't support, it's very difficult for the universities to prosper. Let me tell you, you need resources, you need commitment, you need incentives. All these things in the current atmosphere, because the moment the industry is knowing that you're changing your curriculum according to my needs, my profits will go up, my HR will go up, they'll invest in you. Unless you have that connect, you will not get the resources. But today, I mean, that raising that awareness itself by your organization
So
is
you're
fantastic.
optimistic now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Just one more thing. You see, when there's no connect with industry, the fault is also part of university. The point is in Harvard University, I went to Harvard to write a cover story. The president's office has 12 marketing people there. Their full-time job is to raise endowments.
So only when you have relevant curriculum, when you have, you're supporting the needs of the industry, you're willing to do that.
So you admit part of the fault is of the universities themselves. Yes, sir.
Thank you. First of all, thank you very much for giving this opportunity. Yeah. So thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to be this very important topic today. Partially I agree with you, but partially I don't agree. But as far as
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I think country has grown in last 77 years. A number of challenges are there, a lot of problems and solutions we are trying to resolve it. But as far as if you see, just in your opening remarks, you mentioned that about 43 million students.
Yeah, that's equal almost to the population of United Kingdom.
So I think this itself tells that the quantum massive amount of manpower is available to use to get converted their problems into products and all. But unfortunately, the focus was initially not in that respect it was there. So say for example, if you compare say our research and development fund today of our GDP, it is around 0.7% as compared to say US of about 2.8% and say in Israel about 4.8%. So that is one thing, and second thing is even as our previous speaker mentioning about industry university connect, so that was not appropriate. If you take today example, people are talking about internship, but in one of the industry, if university students are going for their internship, hundreds of students are simply doing the internship online. So that is the today's situation. So even industries are not able to take the students properly, and if students go there, then also they don't devote time for them that what kind of problems they are assigning and how they can solve. Of course, BITS Pilani in that direction have done a very good work in terms of its practice school in a very systematic process. But I think that model has to be done. But in the same way, actually, we have to see that whether industries are ready to take all those things or not. Similarly, if you see, so from very beginning itself, it is not only university systems which is responsible for this type of things. Our society is also equally responsible. If you today talk, see the preferences of the programs. So every student is going behind the computer science or IT sectors. Okay. So it is not that whether boy or girl is interested in that particular branch or not, because of parental pressure, because of societal pressure. Actually, everybody is going there, and they might not be good in that particular area, but because parents wants that, that's why they are going there. And in the process what is happening, actually we are losing somebody who can be a very good civil engineer or very good artist or very good. So that is another aspects. In the
but sir, everybody has the same problems around the world. No, how come Indian exceptionalism is a big excuse that we are different, but what's his name he said, if you cut us, we bleed. If you tickle us, we also laugh.
But if you compare, I can give example because
we are not different from anybody else.
So I can give one example. Last year we have received about 215,000 applications for 3,500 seats at BITS Pilani. Now, almost 95% students have given their first preference computer science. Okay, so now you can see the...
Well, you can't blame them, they want to make a good living, right?
But it is not the same in US or in any other countries. Okay, so I think we have to simply not force our kids that you have to take only this particular branch and we have to.
So there you have to take the lead and educate the population.
Yeah, so
You have to take the lead. The children don't know, the parents don't know. That's where the academy should come in.
Yeah,
should be playing a much more stronger role in public life and saying, this is wrong. Okay, anyway, Yogi, yours?
So one, I'm going to completely divorce industry and academia.
Okay.
Okay, and that entire relationship story is a story of the past. Not even the dinosaurs imagined that they'd be extinct one day. And this movement of AI makes us those dinosaurs. All of us are dinosaurs out here and we're discussing that we're going to live forever. If you've heard of, how many of us have heard of Amio, the CEO of Anthropic? Raise of hands.
Who, sorry?
The CEO of Anthropic. Well, we are all like black, blind men and women in a dark room looking for a black cat and discussing AI. Okay? And I will say this why. Anthropic says that in the next year, AI agents will remove the jobs. They don't want your students, thank you very much. You've been training crappy students and we have a lot of problem dealing with them. I personally worked at Microsoft. We'd go to the finance institutions, buy those students, and that student couldn't have a coffee table conversation with somebody like me. We'd encourage them to read books, they won't read books. So this entire story, madam and sirs, to you, I'd like to tell you, we are sorry and we are mistaken in our foresight if we think that the industry wants the students, or the industry does not want our students. India is a $4 trillion economy that's growing at, let's say, 7% annually. That is $280 billion, ladies and gentlemen, that will get brought to the table next year if we have to meet here at the same time. Out of $280 billion, Dilip, 90% will go into cement, steel, infrastructure, concrete, highways, roadways, runways, airports, hotels, and what have you. 10% of the 280 billion is 28 billion, which will probably be allocated to human resource. Out of the 28 billion, 14 billion, which is 50% of that, would go into catering to, the currently employed manpower, manforce, or the HR component, which is about, your increments and what have you. Then you're left with about 14 billion. And you have 10 million graduates hitting the road every year. If every graduate were to get a job, that job would be worth $1,400 a year, which is what a rickshawala earns. Okay? So let's try and understand, let's not fool ourselves in trying to say the corporates did not do it well. Let's admit that we did not do it. Okay? First and foremost, we did not do it. What are we talking about? It wasn't for the government of India and for the National Computing Mission to go ahead and get some 33 petaflops. What are we talking about? For those of us that understand computer engineering here, we have 33 petaflops in this entire country as compared to 10,000 available over 10,000 available in America. Right? We are talking about 18,000 GPUs and we are beating our chest and we are saying that, we've arrived. What is 18,000 GPUs, I say? Elon Musk himself is sitting on about 300,000 GPUs. And if we don't have, but what's happened to our data? Your data, your maid's data, your children's data, and every single thing is today selling on Facebook. India has lost about, I would think about $750 billion worth of our data to Facebook. Facebook is a $1.75 trillion market cap company. And it has 2.5 billion users. That makes every user to Facebook worth about $700. And if India's population, 101 billion of us are today on Facebook, that is 700 into 1 billion, that is $700 billion of our data selling on the New York Stock Exchange, touted by and flouted by Facebook. I go to several campuses, including the Chitkara and all the other campuses, and I speak to people. I used to earlier work in the domain of happiness, and I used to say, are we doing something about Facebook? Well, we're not bothered about Facebook, but that's outside the campus. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 hours a day is the screen time of every student, and that is like a ticking time bomb. Bodies are neuroplastic, right? And the neural switching starts happening.
One second, Yogi, I think we are veering off. You come to the happiness and stealing of our Indian minds a bit later. Right now, let's talk about this. So let's, anybody wants to comment on anybody else is free to comment. Now we are not going.
I think what Sir said, he's saying that only the industry wants this much. I am not for that, so much of data, can't remember that, being mathematician also. But what you said that they will be catering us, they will be, that is also, sir, indirectly an industry. So we have to cater to them, and that becomes our responsibility. So
you're right, madam, but what I feel is this, that I go to several universities. The universities are still teaching coding, they're still teaching servers.
No, sir. We have a different disciplines in the campuses, sir. I think you have only visited the computer science department. But if you go to the 90% of the universities, they have interdisciplinary campuses. So we are preparing not only for the computer science, but we are preparing for the design also. We are preparing as architecture also. So we are preparing for nanotechnology, we are preparing for mechatronics. So this is not that. But the only one thing, sir, which I can sum up from these points are that where we were wrong. So as an academician, we should take that responsibility. That where we were wrong was that from day one we never asked the industry that what was their requirement.
The marketing of universities is very poor.
Yes, so we thought we were in our world.
Correct.
We thought that we are very intelligent, we are academicians, and what we do nobody can do that. But when our products were going in the market, market said no, we don't want. That is why their internships were there, their probation periods were there, and they were giving the trainings after. But now what is happening? Our latest trend is that which we have started doing, and we saw that this was our mistake, and we take that full guarantee, full responsibility that the academicians were wrong in that. Now what 99% of the universities and the colleges and all are with me, the academicians, those who are sitting here, they are talking to many edtech companies are here. I have seen many companies are here. Edtech companies are here. They are coming to support us. They are doing a great job where we were wrong, where we were missing links were there, right? So now all the stakeholders are working together to make the system work. And for that, what the universities and especially, I don't want to, no, here it is not that what my university and what his university is doing, but all the educational institutes are started working is that they are asking the industry from day one. They have making them a part of their academic council. They have made them the part of their board of governors meetings, and they are co-creating. And even latest is that they are co-taught by the industry guys.
No, Dr. Chitkara, we wrote a cover story on Singapore once.
Yeah.
And we found that people from industry are sitting on school boards.
School board, yes.
They're starting to shape the curriculum. So that when people come out right from school, they're ready to hit the ground running. Companies like, you're well aware, companies like Infosys and TCS, I went to their Trivandrum training program. My God, it's like bigger than a university.
So I will tell you
30,000 students over there studying, because they told me the people who come out of university are no good to us.
Yeah.
We have to train them for another 6 months. So intensive training. So that is the fault of the university.
Yes,
right?
to do that, and what we are doing is that, Dilip, you said that Infosys, they have joined hand with Apple. And now, for example, our university, Apple and Infosys, they have come up a joint responsibility, and they are creating the labs in the universities.
In your university?
In our university. Not only in our, but other universities also. Cape Gemini came to us and they said, we will do that. Geo company came to us, and so 35 the industries came to our campus and said, not only your university, but we are going to other universities. From day one, we want these type of products.
Yes.
Please give us these products.
What you're saying is beginning to happen.
Beginning to happen,
Yes.
co-creating and co-taught by the industry guys. And then when they will have a faith in us, they will start investing in our...
and giving you endowments, scholarships, and everything else. Yes, sir. You're itching to say something.
So I just wanted to say one thing, that universities are not just a means to an end, which is a job. They are an end in itself. I think the role of universities needs to be looked at very seriously. They're a place for discussions, critical thinking, innovation. Those have been totally lost, and I agree with you on that part, that some of our entire focus was on getting a job after the end of tenure of the program. I think none of the US universities have this kind of ambition. They teach well, they are very flexible and nimble. You can take a break for a semester and go out and do something. Our system was very rigid. And that's what we are doing now. You know, universities like Pilani, Shiv, Nadar, Chitkara, all of them are creating a system which is flexible. The entry is frictionless, right? You are also giving credits to creativity. You are trying to encourage innovation. We have 4 schools: School of Humanities and Social Sciences, School of Natural Sciences, School of Business, School of Engineering. All 4 schools get equal importance from the university.
And they interact with each other.
And they interact with each other.
Yes.
You know, the fact that there is a course on philosophy where a computer science student is sitting with an English student and a history student and they are discussing means a lot. Yes. We are missing some of those pieces in our country. I think there's a lot to learn from foreign institutions, no doubt about that, but there's a lot to learn now among us as well. If we work together and create a curriculum which you mentioned, which incorporates some of those learnings in the classroom, I think there is a lot of possibilities.
You know, I subscribe to your views fully. I'll tell you why. Look, there's always a space in the market, and then there's a market in that space. What am I saying? There was no Google before Google. There was no Facebook before Facebook. There was no TCS before TCS. This dependence on the industry has to go away. Because industry will set up their labs and everything, but they will not buy our students in the next 2 years. And I've gone all the way to Stanford. I've gone ahead and worked with Professor Andrew Ng. We went ahead and created an AI lab that we curated at Stanford and we brought it to India. Today I go to universities and they're still teaching coding. Coding is not AI. Computers is not AI. An NVIDIA server is not AI. Algorithms is not AI. And AI people don't even understand what is AI.
So what is it? Tell us.
So yeah, so an AI is a human being, right? You don't have mechanical, it has to be inserted, inoculated into each and every stream of your business, which is whether it is mechanical engineering or electrical engineering or VLSI or civil engineering and what have you. That's what is AI. AI has to be, you know, people do robos and they say we have an AI lab. That's not an AI lab. I go to people and they say, oh, we are doing coding here. Coding is not AI. You know, you got code on the tap now. You don't require to code. You don't need to teach students how to code, right? This entire story of movement from CPU to GPU has been a giant leap in the progression of the world and how the world has actually come about. So I completely agree with him that, you know, these industries came out of this kind of initiative. We don't inspire our students very well. We put up on our hoardings saying that, you know, we got these 13 labs, come join us. But those 13 labs, they're downsizing their own manpower. You know, Google is downsizing their own manpower. What will we do in terms of getting a Google lab in my industry when we know that they'll probably buy my...
No, but it's a good start, right?
No, but I'm not disputing that, but I'm still saying that we are not getting innovative enough.
Of course.
I'd just like to put in a few things. With due apologies, Yogi Saab. I think we need to have a positive idea about, I mean, it's not a doomsday scenario where everything else is going to end.
It's a dystopian vision.
So I'm sorry, I don't agree with that. What we have to do is, suppose, what is the challenge of AI, how the universities can adapt to it, how human beings can remain superior to the machines. That is what is important. Sir. Now that is one part. The second part I was saying, the public policy, the government is also coming up with CSR. Now today itself in the Economic Times you can see that thousands of crores are still being unused. So I would like to probably tap into that, and I would like to say that boards of the universities should also have people from background of the government who know as to what are the good things, because it's not that...
Universities have to market themselves. So, you see, if a university comes to me and I'm a businessman and they tell me, listen, I've got this invention, And if you do,
That's right.
I know
if you do
exactly
it,
what I'm saying.
you'll become very rich.
If you have people who have variety in your boards, then you have a holistic approach available
Right.
where the industry is there, the public policy is there, the investor is there, the latest trends are there, the economic requirements are there. The moment you become competitive, you act like an industry. Education in universities will act like a university. You attract investment. And you go give your outputs. You design your curriculum.
No, but then BITS Pilani is very closely connected with industry, right?
I'm going to hand it over to him.
Yes, so therefore, a lot of innovations and inventions should have come out of BITS Pilani. But
Dilip,
I don't think you have any.
Dilip, in 2022, the total number of patents awarded in this country, 2022 data, the last data that we have. Unfortunately, we don't even have data. Forget about our own data, or, total number of patents granted in 2022, ladies and gentlemen, was 75,000 only, out of which 500 remained on the road and 350 of them even vanished. 150 is the total, that is the total stuff that we've grown in this country organically, the brain of this country. No wonder you're a $4 trillion market cap company, or a country where 4 trillion is, or 3 trillion is just the market cap of Google alone. Where be the wish gurus? So I'm just trying to provoke the audience. I'm not being dystopian, but my objective is to provoke the audience into thinking, hey, where did we go wrong? We get professors, we get PhDs, we get everybody. How many of us have actually gone ahead and put out a product on the street? It's very good. Pilani is a beautiful example, so is Chitkara, and so are some of the others. But those are very handful and few. Those are less than about 100 of these people that will come to my mind who are really ruling the rules. But
Okay,
most of them
let
don't.
Professor Singh answer that question. You are very closely connected with industry, right? So you know what industry wants.
Yeah.
So then you should have come up with a Google or a internet or a flying car or underwater car, or I don't know, jet plane engine. Why not?
Thank you very much. So basically, so there are, as I said earlier, that it is integrated problems. So say for example, if you take example of BITS Pilani, today we have more than 4,700 plus CEOs in various
what, sorry?
CEOs and founders of different organizations. BITS Pilani currently is number 3rd in innovation and entrepreneurship in India. So that way it is good, but the main problem is the brain drain. If I am talking about those 4,700 plus CEOs, majority of them are sitting in US and other countries. Okay, so if our country is not able to retain those people, then I think it is not only the problem of...
No, but why not? Why have we not been able to retain? I'm sitting here, I don't want to go to US.
So again I am coming to that. So basically the ecosystem of both ecosystem of country and ecosystem of academic institution. So apart from some very premier institutions like IITs, BITS Pilani, Chitkara, Shiv Nadar universities and others, Thapar University, Manipal. So apart from that, of course, there is a lot of gap, and as I said earlier that these 40 million students, our focus is entirely different. It is only output based thing rather than outcomes. So like our priority is to simply graduate the students rather than what kind of outcomes impacts we are going to receive from this type of education. So priority is that actually currently. So we have to change it, and how we are going to...
No, sir, may I just put forward a point to all of you academics. One of the big faults of Indian academia is they have not spoken up and educated government. Yes. Do you agree? True. Even today, I find everyone scared to say anything to the government. But why not? That's your job. You have to educate the whole country, including the government.
Right. You're right.
After all, who makes up the government? Right. These are rural people who've come into parliament. They don't know very much. They need to be educated, and that's the role of deans, professors, lecturers. That's your job. You
we also don't invest in R&D. We also don't invest in R&D.
When NEP came into existence, National Education Policy, I think they took 1 or 2 years just to take the feedback of all the stakeholders. So that document came to us, it was in the market, it was very open document, and we gave our suggestions. So when one of the suggestions came, we all were very skeptical that is not to be done, and they never included in that. So I think now government, we have some say in the government because our representatives are there. If you see SOCHM, if you see CII, if you see the SCPC, all the departments, they have a representative from the private and from the government academic institutes as well as their government institutes.
Madam, you are talking about inputs. We want outputs.
So, sir, that is why I am saying.
We want outcomes.
That is why.
In India, you always say we are investing so much, we are investing so much.
But
there is no outcome.
So,
there's a mountain of labor, but there's a mouse of output.
We're a graveyard of research here. In India, is a graveyard of research.
Sir, what is outcome is, I will just tell you in a small.
No, 1 second. You were saying that we spend only so much on research.
Yes.
The question is why?
Yeah.
The question is, university has to go on market and say, listen, if you do this research, your company is going to become an Apple.
Right.
It's going to become a Google.
Yes.
But the university never does it. University is scared to speak to EducationWorld also. When we ask them, they say, no, it's not. But the point is, you have great ideas, you have great intellect. You have to broadcast that intellect. You have to educate the whole country.
Dilip, I will give you one example only, small example, that we are very young in that, right? So we have, if you see our existence, we started in 2010. So it's only a journey of 14 years, right? So we have started, now in Punjab, we have seen there are many MSMEs. They are not big industries like Chennai, not Mumbai. So we have started going to them, just give me 2 minutes. We started going to them and asking them that what are your problems, what are the solutions you want. We have a researchers here, we have a 14,000 research Scopus Index research papers, right? But that is of no use because you are not using it. So now I will give one only example. We went to Tynor and Tynor makes that medical products, right? So we said that if any problem there, you just give us the problem, we will give this to the researchers, they will give you the solutions, and it is up to you that you want to pay or not. So they came up with the problem, and we gave them the solutions. They paid the money to my researchers. So they started doing, because we are very young.
The point
so this is the
universities have to take the initiative and sell themselves. They have to sell themselves to industry. Yes. It's very important. Oh, yes, sorry. Yeah, let's finish. Okay. Let's, any questions from the floor? Make them questions, because I'm told now we are running out of our time. I wish we could have this discussion for much longer.
I'll just take 1 minute. Now, we imported this lab out of Stanford, as I was telling you, and I invite all of you all to engage with me. Tell us, we've created a product where a student can create a product in a week's time, an AI product in a week's time. That's the life cycle of a product. We'll teach them computing and all of that.
No advertising.
Yeah. But we can do that in about a week's time. And I encourage you all to engage with me later, and we'll probably do a program with Dilip on this, and even award scholarships. We are willing to do that.
Okay, sure. Wonderful. Yeah. Chalo, any questions on the floor? I'm sure there are people Yes? Stand up, sir. Can you introduce yourself?
I am Dr. Purushottam Vadje, Principal of S.K. Somaya College of Arts, Science, Commerce.
Welcome, sir.
The question is being discussed, why we have not developed unique product, and what is the reason. When we try to find answer, I would like to have this dimension to consider an answer to this. Those 77 years we have passed, but we need to clearly understand, up to 1991, our entire policy framework and entire education system and economic system, and the paradigm shift in 1991. After that, lot of regulatory framework changes. The late entry from public to the private is the one of the reason, maybe, that the institutions which are freedom is given to education sector, that could be the one of the reasons. And you can think on this.
Yes, secondly, we are very happy to see private universities coming up, and actually all the action that's happening today is in private universities. Yeah. They are the people who are globally benchmarking. You're absolutely right.
One important thing, this is very important, still we need to work. When we say industry-institute interactions, presently, if you look at entire government sector, maybe the legal system, police department, revenue department, PWD department, they need to, they are coming now, UGC has come. All these departments need they have a lot of issues. If they lot of problems they have, lot of issues they have, they can go to the universities and summer and winter internship, which industry is giving, even openly Supreme Court to the police department.
No, but sir, you must also go to them and tell them this, no?
We should tell, but what happened, and even ministry level, if all departments are open to the summer and winter vacation for the student for internship, lot of practical insight itself that can be accommodated.
Made your point, sir. Very good suggestion.
I just said that two good example of this case in as far as government sector is concerned is, one is this Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, which is actually funded by NRIDA, National Rural Infrastructure.
First, better translate it. What does it mean?
Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, PMGSY scheme, which is
for roadways.
So connectivity in rural areas. So it is one of the good example. And in that actually Government of India has directly connected universities. So there are 3-layer system where there is a project implementing unit like PWD, and then above that we have STA, State Technical Agency, in the form of institutions, universities, and then actually NRIDA is there. So
okay, that's very good. Anybody else for a question?
And similarly we have this national highway.
Yeah, I'm glad government's woken up finally after 77 years. Okay.
Yeah. Hello, good morning everyone. I am Professor Sandeep Sharma from Oro University, Surat. Seeing the topic, there's 45,000 colleges and universities have not ideally generated a product, game changer product or service. That is actually true in terms of actual product from the university, but if we see from the startups, till 2020, after 70 years of India's independence, there were less than 30 unicorns. Now India has more than 120 unicorns, and more than 58 are from the university campuses. We can say that this is the product from the universities and campuses our students are going actually forward. Second thing, sir, about the schemes.
No, but what have these unicorns done? Have they impacted my life? I don't think so.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, see.
50% of them have vanished.
Yeah, they're all unicorns, but I mean, what have they done? Have they brought any great product?
Yeah, there is a silver lining always, because everyone wants to actually show this product with the profit. So there are some percentage of profit in the country, and there are they are actually trying to establish abroad. So second thing, sir, about the industry connect. There are a lot of schemes and a lot of terms from the government, central government, state government. Our faculty, I have been into state and central government as well. The faculty, our faculty don't know about what is Arpit scheme, what is Utsah, what is Priha, what is Naipam, what is GI. And faculties are not actually very complacent. They just to make some changes, they say next is 20% to 20% change in the syllabus. Correct. But they are actually, the faculty wants to teach what they want to teach. What they know, they want to. They are not actually this. They are very complacent. So that is one.
The problem in India is that as soon as we have a problem, we set up a committee.
Hello, that's not going to looking outward.
You've got to look
inward.
You've got to come up with some solution which works on the ground.
Definitely.
I mean, I have a list of solutions, problems. In fact, I want to.
I'll just take 1 minute.
Stubble burning every year. Nobody is able to solve that. Our rivers are totally polluted. Our roads are our cities are completely choked with traffic. People are living outside. That 90% of our population don't have no discretionary income. That means they can't go and buy an ice cream or popcorn or anything for their children. It's only for essentials. Where are the solutions for these dirty rivers, stubble burning, toxic air, road traffic? They should come from the university. Those solutions have to come from the university, not government.
Yeah.
Government, it's full of idiots. They don't understand. You have to take the lead. That's what I'm saying.
So at the moment, I'll tell you, the percentage of the inputs from academic institutions is only 7% of the total, all these patents. So what is happening today is that all the industry, all the individuals are doing things on their own. So they are not involving. The data says that 7% only is the. the IITs and the AIMs and the JNUs and all of them together, they are only contributing to 7% of whatever is happening. So that is the gap which is existing today. Yeah. So we have to see that gap, is coming down.
Communicate.
Exactly.
No, you have to communicate, educate the
so
population.
Let's not blame anybody. The synergy has to be created, and everybody is a party to it.
So first thing you should do is at least talk to the media. Most people don't want to talk to us. Forget about anybody else. They say, no, we are not interested.
So can I add here? So again, I think one more thing
Keep the mic near.
In the past, in 2020, the SNAP 2020 came. So after that, a lot of freedom is given. Otherwise, earlier what was happening that only few premier institutions were having this type of thing. But other universities were having no flexibility at all. Earlier, as our previous speaker was telling, so it was very rigid. So they cannot implement many of the things. So now at least.
No. First they must speak up. No.
Just one point I would like to add. I think, we need to really focus on communication that you have talked about. Critical thinking, communication, and creativity is going to take us to the next stage. Yeah.
I think the record of Indian universities in higher education and communication is very poor.
That's true.
You all have wonderful ideas, but you're keeping it inside your campus only. What's the point of that?
Okay, Dilip, there are pointed questions. Let's take it.
No speeches, pointed
no
questions.
Speeches, pointed questions, because there are many questions.
Yes.
And I would request all the panelists to have the pointed answers.
Okay.
I think so, sir, from here has to go.
Only questions, no speeches, please.
Hi, my name is Vishal from Narayana Business School. I'm an industry guy who can't keep calm and move to academia to solve the problem. I've worked with 14 years with industry. So my two perspectives that I wanted to share and want your opinion that how do you think how much it has an impact. One is the intent of the faculties getting into the education. While I'm on the ground, you see a lot of people move to become an educator for the safety and the comfort of the job that it comes with. Because of that, the rigor that is required to create outcome is somewhat compromised, number one. Number two is the policy making. So like when we talk about any other developed countries, most of them have given a lot of importance on work experience, which unfortunately is not a barrier here in India. It's something that you can pursue, but it's not mandatory. You will have MBAs who have learned something, mastered an art of marketing, but they haven't done marketing at all for 25 long years in their country. Why are we allowing them to have a master's in marketing? That's one question probably that can be relevant to us. Of course, there's a flexibility that we can put a mandatory that you need to have work ex before, but that's an opinion of an institution, but not from the government. I think that kind of intervention is something, do you think, can help us solve this in a better manner? That's what I wanted to get some conversation on. Thank you.
What exactly is the question? Have you understood it?
If I have understood your question, you are saying that the people who are in the market and not have work experience or not have that type of experience, they can't teach. This is your question? Yeah.
The student getting into those programs, why can't we put a policy of having work before they getting into, example, masters, getting into masters, because student is coming without any work ex and doing a master's in, example, business administration for marketing.
So you it means you are saying that if they have done BBA in marketing, sales and marketing, and they want to take the enrollment in MBA, sales and marketing, you want that BBA and MBA in between, they should have a work ex?
Yes.
Have you got so many
experience?
Have you got so many jobs in the market that industries are ready for taking those BBA students into their business?
But we have a gap on the demand side also. The industry needs people.
So what they have started doing is that, and the reverse of it, that the previously, sir, they've always asked for the professors, those who have done PhD, to teach them as the students who were coming there. So I think there is all changed after NEP. What we have started doing is, the universities have started doing is, that we are asking the industry guys to come as a professor of practice. So they are coming to us, and there are many, I think in our campus, we have many people who are, some of them have not done masters.
But might be good to do the reverse also, no? You should make sure some of your faculty go and actually do some marketing.
So I wanted to complete this line, that now we have made some of our professors indirectly, because it hurts them, that when we say that you have to learn from that industry guy who is only BTech, they will not be ready, because there are some egos in us. So we admissions are egos also. So what we have said, that you become the buddy to that professor of practice, and you just have to take care of the students, because they will not be able to handle your students. Indirectly कुछ तो वो सर सीखेंगे ना. हमने एक जोक सुना था कि मंदिर में एक चोर गया, उसने सुना कि जो डायन होती है उसके पैर उल्टे नहीं होते. So
I met many marketing professors in IIMs and all who never done any marketing in their lives.
Yes, so in market, yes. So that is why it is a great opportunity for us to have the people from. I respect and I invite all of you, those who are good in any of the subject and any of the content, come to our academic people, and we are ready to take them and we are ready to pay them, but give the best to our students. So it is okay now, I think.
Yes. So I'll just add one more point to his question. I think the fact that many of the MBA institutions in US also insist on having some work experience is not a bad idea. Yes. But I'll tell you what we have done at Shiv Nadar. We have introduced a simple concept called on-campus job. So even if you come without a job in our undergrad business program, you can actually work in the campus, and there are a variety of workspaces available. We've also introduced a very innovative thing called as TVL, the Venture Lab. That's one of the course. Every student in the undergrad, even the graduate program of business, has to create a company of his own and do that pitch in front of a jury. And it's a phenomenal idea. In fact, today as we speak, there is a TVL expo which is going on in our campus. And industry people come and see that expo from the student.
And I think without giving the pitching also, in the evenings when we guests come to our campuses, we give them the internship to them. We say that this is the event happening in the evening, right sir?
Yes.
So we don't call the people from outside. We say that students who are ready staying in the hostels, come to this and handle this event independently.
So
we will pay you.
Within the
So
campus.
they are earning a lot.
Management experience.
Yes sir, so they are earning a lot.
Okay, Dilip, we have two more questions, one from this gentleman, then I'm coming back, and one comment from here. Go ahead. Introduce yourself, sir.
Yeah, this is Professor Rao from Krishna University, Andhra Pradesh. Every panel we discuss past and present, but I request Dilip, there are several elite people, Dilip ji can make a focus group or task force to guide the future of this nation.
Okay. So the medium of Education World is there for you, who's going to really
yes,
decide.
Yes, please interact with Education World.
Okay,
if you have any ideas, innovative ideas,
got it.
Put them. In fact, before we end, I'm going to give some assignments.
Since you have ability to guide, why don't you make a focus group or task force?
Yes.
That is a
well,
good
unfortunately,
idea. Good idea.
That's a good idea. We have it in Education World, we'll include that. A question from here, and then I'm coming at the back.
Sir, I have a question to the panel. My name is Bashop Chaudhary. I am from Heritage Institute of Technology, Kolkata. I am working as principal there. Sir, 1.5 to 2 million engineers are passing out of this country every year.
Yes.
100,000 maximum jobs are being created. So there is a big gap. And we are asking all the students to go for startup. If you look into the gross enrollment ratio, you will find in 1990, China and India compared well. India was doing better than China. Today, China is having 70% gross enrollment ratio in higher education. India is having 30% gross enrollment ratio in higher education. Yes. 30% versus 70%. And if you see the gap, it is a large gap. Indian students are not staying in the campus to do their PhD and produce products and processes. What Dilip ji has been saying again and again, we are losing students after the BTech and they are going for jobs. We are not keeping the students for the PhDs. If we do not give strength on our PhDs, new products and process can never be developed, sir. So I just want to hear from the panel, what should we do As educators,
just
what
one
should we
comment that India is a democracy, China is not. So I think there is some cost of that. I think we have to also have some patience, and we will get there very fast. The time has come, and you will see most of the universities in US, as we mentioned earlier, are private universities. Private universities were born in this country, particularly the new ones, probably in 2010 or so. New ones, yeah.
The new millennium. 1991, I think that was
so,
time.
I think wait for another 20 years and we'll see where we are reaching.
Okay, Dilip, one question.
I don't. I'd like to be less than conciliatory, and with that comment, 20 years is when we'd be living in Stone Age, and now we've all seen the Comm, and that'll be the place where we'll all go ahead and settle down.
Okay.
Honestly, I'm still provoking the audience.
Okay, from GD Birla at the back, and then the last question.
Okay.
Okay, sure. Wait, please, can you, because many people have got pointed question.
Please speak up, sir.
Yeah, thanks to the panel for a very interesting discussion and to the moderator as well. My name is Dr. Shogoto Banerjee. I am the director of J.D. Birla Institute, and having worked and being educated in some Ivy League schools and top schools in the world and published in many, why I'm giving that context is I want to ask a simple question. There is a line which says globally celebrated game changer product. Please, we should ask ourselves a question. Are we ready to pay global standards? So we should ask ourselves, are we only looking at this as a marketing problem? And this is a genuine question that I want to ask the panel. Or are we saying that yes, we really want to bring about this change, reverse brain drain? Why is everyone leaving? The answer is simple. It's $250,000 salary for a professor now. How much are we paying, how much are we paying to our professors despite all these changes? It's peanuts. And education, mind you, we hold it in very high regard. So there are some fundamental changes, and business models also need to change. There is room for two-tier education system, because we have to provide for the masses. But if we want to create knowledge, if we want to push the frontiers of science, please understand that man has to live as well. So we have to pay global rates. It is not surprising, one panelist pointed out very pertinently, that a lot of this is happening in the industry, the patents. Why? Because industry has realized if we don't pay global levels, we can't attract global people. So this is a question that I actually want to ask.
Sir, can I answer your question? Sir, if you are comparing our universities with Ivy League, and you have studied there and you have done everything there, so the only thing which I want to ask that whether I'm a teacher for the last 49 years, 76 I started teaching. So whether I am ready to take that responsibility which the professors of Ivy League are taking. Whether the professors from there, sir, they are doing it, the dean of the school of Ivy League. If you talk about the Yale's dean, 9 months, the university pay the salary of their staff for 9 months. 3 months, that dean has to create the salary for their staff while doing the consultancy, by doing the research, and while doing their products in the market. Sir, we are not yet ready as an academician, then why the government or the university should pay us? Because we are not ready, our minds are not open up, we are not a product of Ivy Leagues.
But
we are a product of
hello, madam, you should be able to raise endowments so that you can fund all this.
So that is why I am saying that endowments is that is why the last answer was that now the time has come where we have to go to ask for the endowments, and we have to go to our alumni because now our alumni are very fresh.
I don't even agree. I don't even agree there.
Madam, you need to create a product. We also need to create a product.
I'll tell you, Professor, the democratization of education has happened. Your question had relevance if it was retrospective. It is not relevant today in the AI age. Your students are capable of developing products, and I can assure you they are, provided you give them the means, right? We should stop looking at the industry as a savior. Industry will never come to save you. As a matter of fact, they'll get rid of their own employees.
I have nothing to say about the industry. I'm saying the industry of education needs to understand that there are global rates. If you want to be at the global
So the
level,
global rates will come out of innovation. You have to, you got to inspire your students to be able to create products, and they can. I'm saying they can.
Yes, all right, all right. Hello, Yogi. One second. Okay, now, from Amity University, our top-ranked university, multidisciplinary university this year. Yes, sir.
This is Professor Ramesh Bagla from Amity Business School. I came to academia after 35 years of experience in the industry, cross-functional, cross-sectors. It has been a good journey.
Please speak up, sir. We can't.
Yeah, it has been a good journey, but my question to you all is, we very often hear in academia, publish or perish. A very oft repeated a clause or saying that either publish or perish. And in most of the educational institutions, higher educational institutions, increments are linked to your publication in Scopus and ABDC and things like that. My question to you is, merely publishing a paper in a journal and it gathering the dust, never put to practice, never applied, what kind of direction we are going into? I can tell you enough examples of the professors, of the academicians who have published papers in the top ranking journals, but they cannot write 2 lines straight in English because the editorial services are there. It's a whole big racket that is running for research publication.
Completely agree with you.
Okay, closing comment from
the paradigm ought to shift from publish or perish to perform or perish.
Last comment, we are running out of time. I'm under a lot of pressure. And I also want to give some assignments to some of the people. Yes.
Sure, thanks Dilip. It was a great panel discussion. So I have an outside-in view. I'm Suchendra, I'm a partner with PwC working on education. And I think this is a question not so much for the panel, but for the rest of the people here. You know, if you're trying to answer why we don't have a game changer product or a service in the last so many years, the game changer product or service does not happen as a knee-jerk reaction or as an overnight thing. My question to all of you is, how many of you have a 5-year vision or a plan for your college? How many of you thought of saying, let's have a product 5 years from now, but let's start for that today? You know, and I think that's the big missing thing, and that's probably, you know, I'm just taking a liberty. I don't know who are all the people in the room. I think that's the difference between the 3 people from the university sitting here. They have a 10-year plan, a 15-year plan, and a 5-year plan. And they're working towards it. And possibly 10 years later, they would have a product. 10 years later, you know, they would have some of those things. And I think that is something that all of you will have to think. You know, everybody will not have a game changer global product, but you could have a product for India, you could have a product for Bharat, you could have a product for your own locality. And I think that is what we need to do.
In fact, I want to take up from there. Just before we end, I want to give an assignment. See, Dr. Chitkara, let's start with you. You have a stubble burning problem in Punjab, right? According to me, my logic tells me that you can send your scientists to take that wood from the stubble burning before it's burnt and to give it some treatment, some scientific treatment, whatever, to make it into marketable wood, so that the farmer will not burn it, he will sell it. So can you accept that assignment and put some people?
We have done it already. It is a good news for. Sir, it is a good news for all of us to understand that since it is now into the patent, so I can't reveal that. But now the product is already ready. It has reached to the carbon. Sir, can you tell the whole product? Sir, he will be able to tell you the whole product, and it has reached that they will not be able to burn it. We are going to them. We have started taking their thing. We are asked for the warehouses to help us out. That material will go to the warehouse. There they will press it, and they have the pressing product will be, the final product will be in the shape of a carbon capsule. This much carbon capsule, and that carbon capsule is also resellable in the market, and again that product is, so we have done it. We will just.
So we hope to see now shortly be able to purchase that wood.
Yes.
Yeah. So in your case,
so
in Shiv Nadar,
first money I will take it from you to sell that product to you.
Yeah, sure. I'll be happy to buy it.
Okay, Dilip,
Yes.
Dilip,
Sir, now I have already done it. That is why
I'm giving an assignment to everybody.
Yeah, Dilip, just a question, but not to answer now. A
Okay.
final one, and then we close, Sumya, and we start the awards.
I am Professor Raisuddin from Jamia Ahmedabad, Dean Academic. My question to panel is that, have we identified which of the products or which of the services Indian universities and colleges have competence and probability to excel at the world level? So because universities are horizontally expanded and spreaded, so we need to identify which of the products, which of the services Indian universities will concentrate for next 5 years or 10 years, where a product will come, where a service will come, which will be globally recognized. I think that kind of forum is not available in the university. We don't.
Sir, that's what I'm asking. Now we've got one product coming from Chitkara University.
Well, it's a very local one.
Sir,
I'm sorry to say.
No, it's a national problem, sir.
It's again local in the North India, Delhi, Punjab, Haryana, and Rajasthan only. We have to think global product.
There are 400 million people living there, sir.
Sir, we have to go from local to global. So first we have to give the answers to our local problems, then we can go global. So still...
We can coordinate with CII or some industrial forum and we can coordinate with the industrial forums like CII or where you can get the ideas, what are the problems, and you can coordinate and say that okay, the universities can...
We have coordinated that.
I'm saying,
Sir, we can give Shiv Nadar University an assignment from your science students. So find a solution to cleaning up India's rivers. You know, I went to 1984, I wrote a cover story on PepsiCo. I met a man there, a scientist. He said, I can clean up Dal Lake in 1 week. Dal Lake in 1 week, he said. I don't see any such ideas coming out of any of our universities.
If you scan the newspapers of probably 3 years back, you would see that there was a big research which was quite widely published. Was one of our researchers actually came up with a plastic-eating bacteria, which was developed in our lab. Okay. We have a phenomenal research facilities of life sciences, physics and chemistry. We are doing some outstanding work in the pure sciences research. So I think this is going to be...
No, so now we have to market it,
yes,
sir.
Yes.
That's the next step.
You have to market it. That's the truth.
That's the step. Merely having it in your lab is not going to help.
We are going to market it now.
Yes. Sir, in your case, India's traffic chaos in the cities, our cities are dying. Bangalore, where we come from, sir, can you not present a plan? A plan. How do you make traffic flow smoothly? What we have is happening in Bangalore and other cities. Those PW people, D people, I don't know, there's some rural people who come to, I don't know what kind of education they have. They have no idea of what's to be done. They do everything in bits and pieces and they're not able to see the whole picture. Now, you have a great university, so many years old. You can definitely, your people can come up with a plan and you have a B school also. They can market the plan.
Yes, that is correct. Whatever suggestion you have done, you have suggested, I think we can take it up this type of problems, which is really going to help the society. And in fact, not only we can give the solutions, but this can also be integrated with tools like AI, which Mr. Kochhar was mentioning.
Yes.
So I think our university institute is having that competence, and definitely we will be working on it.
And we will publish, sir, we will publish. We have a books division. We will publish your plan. And we will also write about it in EducationWorld in a abridged form. Yes.
Dilip, my immediate task and assignment is to wind up this panel.
Okay, sorry. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. It's wonderful talking to you all. And thank you for the spirited discussion.
Yeah. May I request you all to stay on stage. We've got a small memento for our panelists, Bhavin, if we can give them, please. My colleagues backstage, can we have the panelists' mementos, please?